Okay, I think this is it. I have to go back to him, right? Hi.
Hi.
It says we're live. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So you guys, thank you so much for joining us for World Milk Day. My name is Annie, and I am a fifth generation dairy farmer from Michigan. And we are going to be celebrating for 24 hours straight World Milk Day with Dairy Discovery. This is a live streaming telethon. So what we're looking for is for you guys to support us, give us some tips or just an actual donation, whatever you want. What we try to do is bring kids out to our farm and educate them about modern farm life and just where your food comes from. We want to provide a personal connection to your food. So World Milk Day is a really big day for us, but usually we would do like hands-on activities. That's what we kind of pride ourselves on. Well, we can't have hands-on activities during the stay-at-home order. So we had to kind of pivot and figure out a different way to reach you guys. So you can't be here next to me, like smelling the dairy air with me, but you can. We're trying to come to you. Maybe you're laying in bed with insomnia or something, or maybe you're just sitting on the couch and bored, looking at your phone, scrolling through Facebook. Well, we can come to you. So we decided to do this crazy, unprecedented event during this unprecedented time. So thank you so much for joining us. I did want to highlight, because every hour we have to highlight a dairy product because it's World Milk Day. So this hour is, can you see it? Small curd cottage cheese from Kemp's. So we are going to just do a little taste. I actually love cottage cheese, but I always have pepper on mine. I forgot the pepper. Dang it. And what? Oh, that's salt. No, that's not gonna help me. I like pepper on mine. But I also like pineapple, and in like 4 or 5 hours, I think I get to have cottage cheese with fruit mixed in. So that's gonna be a real treat. Join us later. Okay, all that. Oh, I forgot to eat it. Okay, so Dave, you have to go soon. So let's learn all about you. Thank you so much for joining me. This is World Milk Day. We're going all across the world.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to join you. I've got my milk as well. It's in my tea because I'm British, so I have to have tea first thing in the morning. So I've got my milk.
Okay.
So
I love that coffee cup that you chose. Is that what you use every morning?
Oh yeah, that's my morning cup. So it's got my cow and calf on it, ready to go. So yeah, surprisingly enough, I get a lot of mugs that have cows or sheep on it, being a vet. So it seems like a standard family present at Christmas time to get me a mug with animals on.
So original, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you obviously enjoy them, so they know you. Can you tell us just about yourself, like why, what you're doing today, why you work for Zoetis, kind of what your passions are? I'm guessing cows fit into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose it all began when I was a small child. So I'm from a dairy farming background. So in a place called the Yorkshire Dales, which is in the north of England, which probably means very little, but it's the home of soap operas and James Herriot. So, the original British vets. So that obviously had a massive influence on me growing up. So yeah, I grew up smelling the rural air, shall we say, as well. So that started my passion. So yeah, so we were not a big farm by US standards, but a relatively big farm by UK standards. So we were milking 180 cows, running about 300 beef cattle and 1,200 sheep. So varied, but yeah, so that's where everything sort of started for me. Then after that, I went to vet school. Spent 5 years up in Scotland at vet school, and then started working with farm animals, and did that for 10 years before joining what is now Zoetis as a vet for them.
Okay. So your farm, that seems kind of big than most European farms, or is it average, or what's the typical size of a?
So it would be bigger than average, certainly. The average size in the UK is around about 120 cows, but we do have some bigger farms. We're starting to get farms that are upwards of 3,000, 4,000 cows now. But yeah, most would be around about that sort of 200, and then we've got a lot of still smaller guys, that are enjoying their dairy life, but it's a very different sort of situation from the bigger farms. Each of them have their own pros and their own cons. So I think there's the great thing about farming is there's lots of people doing it, and there's not one size fits all.
Yeah, what we've learned is there's always something different that you can do too. Like every day it's like, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to improve, or what are we going to do different? Just keep evolving and innovating, right? And so
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
diversity is like, yeah, as many farms as there is, there's many different ways to do things, right?
Absolutely. And you mentioned Europe, and across Europe it's a very different situation. So like you have, it's very different in the north where you are to the dairies down in California, and the setup is different. So yeah, we don't obviously have that quite in the UK, but if you look at southern Spain and Italy, what they're producing, so the cows are more indoors there, and obviously Italy famous for parmesan and for mozzarella and all these things. So we've got a broad spectrum across Europe of dairy products coming out as well.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me what your favorite dairy product is?
Oh, okay. I'm a bit of a cheese fiend, so I suppose I should be British now and go, yeah, cheddar, but it's not. It's the French cheeses, brie, camembert. That's the soft cheeses, yeah. So
Yeah.
shout out to our French friends, but yeah, obviously, if you were asking me if when we were just talking UK, it'd be cheddar all the time. So
Okay.
yes, yeah, but yeah, cheese is a bit of a weakness.
Okay. I get that. I think, yeah, man after my own heart there. Love cheese. I don't think I go one day without eating cheese. Yeah.
Oh no, that's a bad day.
Okay. So I want to learn a little bit more about what you do as a Zoetis. You told me that you've been to our farm, but I don't know if I met you, and if I did, I forgot. Sorry, but
that's okay. So yeah, so
I don't know anything. Tell me what you do. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a vet for Zoetis. I spent a lot of time in the UK looking after what they would term the classic animal health portfolio, so vaccines and antimicrobials, antibiotics. But now I've moved on to which is very much my passion, which is termed precision livestock farming, which is a term for what we've moved into in the past few years with things like sensors for cows. So like everyone has a Fitbit, or other brands are available, obviously. Sort of that sort of thing for cows, and seeing if we can pick up any issues much earlier using technology, and looking at the genetic side of animals as well. So if we can start to predict which animals are going to be more healthy, just by using, again, a dictator. There's out there where we can pick up our predisposition to cancers, to anything like that. We have all that as well. So that's very much what we're working with now, to try and improve cattle and improve the life of dairy farmers. And at the end of the day, producing safe and healthy milk.
Amen. Okay. So that Fitbit program that you're talking about, like how long has how long have you been developing that? And is it pretty widely adapted yet, or is it kind of new technology? Talk a little bit about that.
So yeah, so the technology I'm talking about is something called SmartBow. It's actually an ear tag that just goes in the cow's ear, and it can tell when they're moving around, and it can also tell when they're chewing their food and ruminating, because we know that they need to ruminate a lot to produce good quality, healthy milk. So we can tell with 97 to 99% accuracy what a cow is doing. So as soon as her movement changes, her behavior changes, it's a sign of illness. So we can then pick that up. It gets highlighted to the farmer or the staff on the farm. And also, it's got a positioning chip in it, so it tells you exactly where that cow is. So you can go straight to her in the barn and have a look at her and find out what's wrong. Because we know the earlier you can treat an animal, the better the chances of her returning to full health and producing that healthy milk that we all want as quickly as possible.
Right. A really big buzzword for us the last few years has been preventative medicine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this technology, I'm just going to keep pushing you on it because we want that at our farm. We have that at the robot farm. We see how beneficial it is to our cows' health. And we want that at the main farm. So the funny thing with us is we have two different types of systems. One where we have unlimited access to data with the cows, tracking them. And then we have the old, more conventional way. And so can you talk a little bit about the investment towards a dairy farm, and would it pay off, or do you think it pays off for them? I mean, we're financially strapped right now, so.
Yeah, of course. And I think, during this current situation that we all find ourselves in globally, it's more important to start looking at these things. And you're right, knowing that information on each cow gives you the power to help. And it's brilliant to hear that, you're wanting to do preventive medicine, because that is the key and the future. So, for me, having that information gives you real power. And absolutely, the payback is very quick for these things, because if you imagine that, that the time you're saving drafting out animals and checking animals, because this system is doing it for you 24/7. So also on top of that, it is finding cows that are in heat. So, and you will know that fertility is the key driver on most farms to production. So because if we don't have cows in calf, we don't have milk. So
we wouldn't have World Milk Day. Oh.
It's 30. Yeah. Absolutely. And most farms that have put it in are seeing payback in about 15 months. So, okay, it is an investment, but what you're getting in labor savings and improvements and reduced antibiotics, all those sort of things, absolutely. And having more time, is key, and that has an amazing value. More time to do things like this. And be on Facebook Live 24 hours a day.
I think that's what most farmers are just waiting for. They all want to be on Facebook Live, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. So we're talking about trying to educate our consumers, or bring kids here to teach them about where their food's coming from. What is something that you go out, you went out on Friday, had a beer, you told me, when I called you and bugged you about this interview. So you meet somebody and you're like, oh, I'm a vet for Zoetis. What do they ask you? Like, what are people wanting to know? What's the most asked question you get when you say I'm a vet for Zoetis and I deal with cows and sheep and stuff?
Okay, so yeah, so most people ask about what it's like to sell drugs. So
That's not what I was expecting. Okay.
so that's one of, you know, from the, I live in a rural area, so the farming guys know me, so they don't ask me questions like that. They're wanting free health advice where they don't have to pay their vet. But yeah, generally it's like that. So again, you know, we start having the conversation about, well, you know, obviously, you know, animals do get sick. We do need to treat them, but the most important thing is utilizing what we know to try and keep them healthy in the first place, so we don't get to that stage. So, you know, we have long conversations about that. You know, people also obviously ask about, unfortunately, you know, where we're at with cows and global warming. That is a question I get asked, unfortunately, a lot. But to be perfectly honest, you know, the proof is out there now. We can see the Himalayas for the first time in 50 years, and the cows are still there.
And how many cows are there? Yeah.
Yeah, 50 million plus. So, you know,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, without getting too political, obviously.
Oh, no, I think that's great. It's a hot topic. Everybody's concerned about it. I mean, the coolest thing to me is that if we can play into the solution for global warming, like I think that agriculture really is a big part of the solution for some of these issues that we're facing. So I think it's great for people to hear our story and to hear these and to see. Been pretty interesting. Anyway, so what do you say about the antibiotic use? Like, what is your take? I mean, you said you've been doing vet stuff for I'm not very good at math. I'm thinking 15 years or more. I don't know.
I won't reveal my age, but yeah, you're about right. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been doing it 15 years. What's changed? And what would you tell somebody like, oh, from then to now, this is what you're seeing? Because I can just see huge difference in just our philosophy and how we use it. And I think a lot of that is due to what you guys have kind of pushed us, you know, and I just think your company has changed so much in the last 15 years for good.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, we all know there are pressures on using antimicrobials in both humans and animals. So, you know, we need to be very careful, but obviously animals do get sick. And so the general sort of mantra that we talk about is using, you know, antimicrobials where they're necessary, as much as is needed, but then as little as possible. So, you know, but you know as well as I do, being from a farm, is that if we've got an animal that's sick that needs antimicrobials, then we have to give them. But we don't want it to get to that stage, because, you know, we can't be utilizing the milk from that animal for most drugs. And you know, that's an issue. And so with Zoetis, what we started looking at is, well, what is the future? So the future is finding out if we can predict which animals are going to get ill with the likes of, you know, the genomic testing. If we can detect it as quickly as possible with a sensor technology like SmartBow. And then obviously if we can,
or Fitbit, is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
You know, yeah. I better call it SmartBow, because they'll tell me off for calling it that. But it might help people understand what it is. And then obviously the prevention. So the vaccines, which obviously, you know, people are used to. The vaccines have been around for a lot, and things like the teat sealants as well. You know, Orbiseal, for example, that has made a massive difference to mastitis levels. So all in all, if you take what, you know, Zoetis is doing from all those bits, when I first started in practice, we didn't have any of that. We had some of the vaccines, absolutely, but where it's gone from a veterinary perspective, and you mentioned data before, and data is key for us vets to be able to see what's going on a farm before we set foot on it. It makes us much more valuable to you, because at the end of the day, if we're not providing a good service to farmers, then we're not a partner to you. So, and we need to be that for survival of farming, for survival of the veterinary profession. And I think at the moment, what it's shown us, and the COVID situation, is that we need healthy, good quality food in our own countries, because that's what's created some of the biggest issues across Europe, is not being able to get food from the supermarkets and things like that. So if we know we're supporting farming through the background, then it's all good.
Yeah. So I know you have another call or something. Do you have Zoom like constantly too over there? Is that what you're doing like all day, every day, it seems like, or not?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we're still stuck. So I'm not allowed out too far. I can go for walks with the dogs, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what do you think is the biggest difference between USA and Europe farms? Like you said, you've only been to our farm. Is that true?
I have only been to your farm. I've seen other US farms. So I'm doing Europe versus yours. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So I'll be honest. What was the biggest surprise for me was I knew what the farms would be like from a size perspective. Was honestly that you had a boardroom. So no UK farms, no European farms I've sat foot on have those regular scheduled meetings to talk about what's going on the farm, and for me that was brilliant. So the fact that you sit down and discuss where you want to go, what the future holds for you, having a succession plan, for example, and what you're doing now, and reaching out to people and that sort of thing. That was the big difference for me. Yes, we have there's a milk purchaser called Arla, who they're quite big in Northern Europe, a processor. They have farm open days for the public. So once a year, everyone goes on, and it's to encourage again people, children, to see what farming's really like, not just what they see in the newspapers and things along those lines. But for a business to be doing that standalone is very impressive. So yeah, size absolutely. But what impressed me was the way that you think about the business, and it's not just right, this is what we need to make to pay the bank this year. It's much bigger than that.
Okay, cool. So it's funny you mentioned the boardroom, because you met my cousin Tom. He came over and visited you. That's kind of how I got connected with you.
Yes.
And he, you know what his favorite line is? I'm gonna die in a meeting. Like he hates the meeting. Tell him, I'm gonna make sure he knows that the boardroom is your favorite part, and Dairy Discovery. That was the other thing I just wanted to kind of highlight before we sign off in about 30 seconds, is just to tell you that Zoetis is a sponsor of our Dairy Discovery program. And I was just kind of wondering, like, why you thought Zoetis would want to partner with a dairy farm to teach like kids and communities about dairy farming.
Oh, I think, yeah, absolutely. It's because what I said before is that, dairy farming and farming in general is so important for people to know where their food comes from, and know the effort and the time and the precision that goes into producing that food. And I think it gives us that connection back to the community as well. So, you know, for me, all in all, I think it is just great what you're doing. And from a Zoetis perspective, you know, partnering with you know, a system that allows people to see the good that goes on farms and the healthy food that we're all in to produce, you know, that is what's key for me. All right.
Well, awesome.
Okay.
You know what? Thank you,
Hey,
Dave. I really
well, I
appreciate
think
you.
I'm
I
gonna have
know, yeah, I know you were freaking out about this, but I thought you did great. And yeah, I just think it was great for people to see, like, even our friends, is it across the pond or whatever, are thinking and doing the same things that we are here in Alto, Michigan. So yeah, have a happy World Milk Day. I'm glad that we could
and
be
you.
part of your celebration plans. And
Thank you.
if you guys who are just joining us, just as a thank you to Dave or to all of our staff or to help us in the future, just click on that shop now and donate to this wonderful cause, our telethon. You are joining a telethon, so you don't have to call in. You can just click. It's so easy. It's not the archaic way. So we've changed it up a little bit. Yeah, thank you again so much, Dave. Look, I wanted to introduce you to, is it Roos?
Yeah.
Roos. She's from the Netherlands. So we
Yeah.
got another European here.
Oh, well, enjoy. I shall leave you, and thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care. Bye. Bye.
Happy Milk Day. Enjoy your tea.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. So thanks so much for joining us, Roos.
Yeah, thank you for
Am I saying-
emailing me.
Yeah, am I saying your name right?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
Rose,
good.
like from the flower.
From the-
flower rose.
Oh, Rose. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I was like, you're from flowers? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. But my name is Annie, and we are celebrating World Milk Day. And I just
Yeah.
thought, what better way to celebrate than finding someone from way across the world to join me on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
We are doing a 24-hour live stream. So we are in hour 3 of
Yeah.
24.
Okay.
Just
Cool.
got off the, we're in hour 4. Oh, okay, we're in hour 4. Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, we're in hour 4. And yeah, so we are doing this live streaming for 24 hours. The Dairy Discovery Program is a nonprofit that tries to bring kids onto dairy farms so they can get hands-on learning and see how modern dairy farms work and understand about where their food comes from. We're trying to provide our community with a personal connection to their food. Well, during the stay-at-home orders, we have had 0 people be able to come to our farm. Typically, by this time of year, we have several thousands of people come to our farm. And so
Okay.
we just knew we needed to pivot and do something different. And so we came up with this unprecedented event,
Yeah.
this telethon in this unprecedented time. So
Okay.
if people are interested, they can go ahead and click shop now on our Facebook page and donate so that we can,
Yeah.
as soon as we get the go ahead, we can bring kids back on the farm and teach them about where their food's coming from and continue our purpose. So
Okay.
with that, I can't wait to hear about you. I just gave you a quick rundown of what we're doing. I want to hear what you're doing to celebrate World Milk Day. And yeah, just tell us about your farm.
Oh, thank you for introducing yourself. And one thing, my English is not very good.
I think you're doing fine.
Okay. I'm living on the farm. My dad is the farmer, and now I started 1 month ago my own ice cream business. So I make from the milk from our cows ice cream, and I sell it to the people here. And it's so busy. It's very beautiful weather, so that's good here. And the people come from everywhere to here to eat ice cream. So this morning I started early to make ice cream because today is everybody is free and it will be a very nice weather today. so I think it will be very busy. Do
Okay.
you understand me?
Oh, I do. I just can't
Okay.
understand. You said it's Monday and everybody's free and people
Yeah.
can come to your farm. Like those are words that I'm not understanding because we're supposed to be staying at home and we can't leave and it's Monday, so usually people are working. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, does everyone
Normally.
celebrate World Milk Day there? Is that what's happening?
No, today it's a free day for all the people in the here in Holland.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people will come here from ice cream with their kids and family. And yeah, we have also some calves. I can show you them
I would love
because
to see them.
here this the shop a few hours. The people can see our
Oh,
and the kids
I'm
did
having
so
a,
much.
yeah, I think you have to go a little slower because the connection isn't very
Oh,
good. Internet can't
I'm
keep up.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, just go
Okay.
nice and slow.
I will do it again.
Okay.
So here
Okay, yeah, show
are
us.
the calves.
Okay, cute.
You see them?
Yeah, I can see them. There's 3 of them in there.
And they can see the call. Sorry?
There's 3 calves in there, I think, right?
Yeah, you see that right. And our cows walking outside, and the people like that so much to see that, and then they come here to eat ice cream. And in the future, I like to take the dairy farm from my dad over. So that's my future. I think so. I hope. But I have one sister and one brother, and they like it too.
Mhm.
So I don't know how it goes in the future, but we will see.
Yeah.
And some days is my sister in the ice cream shop, and they will sell the ice creams, and then I go work to by some other farmers to learn a lot from how they work, because every farmer is different. So, and then I milk the cows and I make cheese there, and I like that a lot.
You are very busy, very ambitious. Okay. So you're still like kind of learning and doing internships kind of
Mhm.
with other farmers.
Yeah.
How many cows are on your farm that you have to take
One.
care of too?
We milk now around the 100 cows
Okay.
on this moment. Yeah.
So I know there's Laley is the brand of robotic milkers that we use at our farm. I know
No.
Laley's popular. You don't have Laley robots or
No,
anything?
we don't
Okay.
have a robot.
Okay. So you're not milking them by hand, right?
No, with
Okay.
a machine.
Okay. I'm
Are
teasing.
you on the farm now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So we milk, we just saw our milking parlor where we
Yeah.
milk 1,500, and then I'm at the robot dairy right now and we milk
Okay.
500 here. Did we go to the
Oh, yeah.
robot milking next? We go see the robot milking in the next hour. So
Okay.
coming up.
Yeah.
So one thing I was going to ask you, you have a lot of customers and the public and your
Yeah.
community coming to
Yeah.
the farm. What's
Yeah.
one of the questions that you get asked the most? Like, what are they very curious about?
What do you mean exactly?
Like, what do people, they ask it over and over, like, what are the, why do you put the cows in the little hutch? Or why are the
Oh.
cows in the grass? Or what do you feed the cows? Or, what do you put in your ice cream? What are people wanting to know from you about their farm?
They want to know if we make the ice cream by ourselves, and how it goes on the farm, because a lot of people don't know anything about the farm. So we will tell them, and they like that so much because they learn a lot when they are here. And they can see the cows and some other animals, and they never seen them so close. So That's very nice. Is that the answer on your
Yes.
question? Okay.
So you get to teach people, like you get
Yeah.
to interact with them and teach them. So what is one thing that you like that you've been surprised that people don't know? You're like, you didn't know that? I have to tell people that? What?
A lot of some people don't know that the milk comes from a cow. The people from the cities, the city, they don't know. They think that the milk comes from the fabric. Is it from the industry?
Yeah,
And-
factory. Mhm.
Yeah, the factory. Yeah, thank you. And they think that the cows don't have a good life, and then they come here and they see that they have a good life. They walk outside and they have good food and they can do what they want. And they can see that the calves and the cows are happy here. So that feels good for me then when they see it and when they learn that.
So how did you decide that you were going to make ice cream? That sounds like a pretty, was it a really like big deal? Was it hard to do that or?
We talked about with my family, with my dad and my mom and my brother, sister. Then we do that together because there comes a lot of work thereby. I don't know in the English, but
Yeah.
there comes a lot of work. It is a
Yeah.
lot of work, and we have an old is a shelter.
Okay, yeah, an old barn or something, yeah. Okay.
A barn, yeah.
Okay.
From 1861, and it was very old. This way, we wanted to do something with it. So we thinking, and then we come on this idea,
Mhm.
and it goes very good. So
Yeah, you've only been going for 1 month.
yeah, 1 month, yeah.
Wow. And how many people do you think will come today? Or how many are you like preparing for just in case?
I think a couple of hundred,
Okay,
100, yeah.
that's
Of more,
pretty good.
maybe 200. I don't exactly know because then it's so busy, so I don't have the time to tell them, or we only making ice cream and sell them. Yeah, and the people go
sounds
sit
like-
everywhere in the grass, and they hold 1.5 meters from out of each other.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's good.
the social, we call it
Yeah.
social distancing. That's what
Yeah,
we're calling it,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Okay,
Yeah, it's very big here.
so that's good. Yeah. What is the best-selling product or flavor that you guys have?
I think with this hot weather, it will be mango and
Oh.
vanilla.
Oh,
Vanilla?
vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yep.
a yogurt amarena. Is that yogurt
Okay.
with jelly? It's in
A
English.
cherry yogurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your English is great. You're fine. I get it. I'm
Thanks.
getting you. Yeah, you're good. Okay. So you got a random email from someone telling you to celebrate World Dairy or World Milk Day with me.
Yeah, I heard from
why-
Lambert.
Yeah, why on earth would you say yes?
Because I like to tell about our farm and how we do things, and I liked it, and it was from Lambert. And in 2017 I did an internship by
Mhm.
Lambert in the States, and I had a very nice time there. So he asked me, so I said yes. Yeah.
Well, I am so glad. Thank you so much. So we are going to have coming up later in the day another your fellow Dutchman.
Yeah.
Thijs is from Bremster. Does that sound
Oh,
right?
Beemster. Yeah, from the cheese
Beemster?
maybe, or
From what?
from the cheese there. It's in the
No.
Beemster. It's a lot of cheese there. Oh, okay.
Beemster garlic. garlic,
Okay.
Bamster garlic and dairy. And so he came and did an internship here at Swiss Lane and stayed
Oh, okay.
with our family last
Mhm.
year. So I made him participate in World Milk Day.
Oh,
So
very nice.
um, is in the Netherlands, is everybody celebrating World Milk Day too, or just you and me?
I think just you and me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
We
great.
don't have a dairy month. In the States, you have a dairy month, June.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, we
June.
don't have one.
Okay. So yeah, World Milk Day kicks off June Dairy Month for us. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like somebody said the Super Bowl, like football, like
Mhm.
big
Yeah.
event. Like this is Dairy Farmers' big event. So I am so glad that you wanted to celebrate with us. And yeah, I won't take up too much of your time. I told you about 15 minutes. Unless you
Yeah.
have anything else that you really want to tell maybe the US about your farm or about you or about milk or about
Yeah.
dairy cows.
Yeah.
So you were in the US. Do you think there's a very big difference or what's something that's the same no matter what dairy farm you've been to?
When I was in the States, then the people that not lived on the dairy farm in the States that loved the farmers there, and everything was good, and they make their food. That's not in Holland. The people think they are do the things not good, and from the CO2 milieu. I don't know in English.
Okay.
From the nature, they break the nature.
Like environmental, like climate, stuff like that is what you're talking about?
I don't know. They do
No?
are
Okay.
not good from the nature and the CO2 and I don't know in English. Sorry.
You're probably talking about like greenhouse gases
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
CO2,
yeah,
all
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And the grass is not growing good by farmers, and they make everything broke in the nature. So
Yeah.
and the manure on the land is too much and not good. So and the people they don't know the grass needs a manure.
Mhm.
So
Manure. We say manure,
yeah,
but yeah.
manure.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
got you. Yeah. So
So
you're saying that was the US or that's happening in the Netherlands more?
that's in the Netherlands.
It's worse in the
That
Netherlands.
people thinking better about farmers in the States than here in the Netherlands.
Okay. So you've got your work cut out for you, teaching
Sorry?
them.
Oh
You
yeah,
have a lot of work to teach them different.
yeah, yeah.
So very interesting. Yeah, I learned from Tice, like you guys had a tractor.
Yeah.
All the tractors go to the
Yeah.
Capitol
Yeah.
because they didn't want, they wanted to kind of restrict farming, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't want to listen to us.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
Did you go to the Capitol in your tractor?
Yeah, 3 times.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You're feisty. I like that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, very passionate, I think. That's awesome. Well, I am so happy to meet you. Let's be friends on Facebook, okay?
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
I come to the Netherlands next, I'll come and visit you, okay?
Yeah, and you come
Okay.
and eat an ice cream.
I know. The mango, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much and happy World
you.
Milk Day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Have a great day. Lots of ice
Thank you.
cream. Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. We're going to go ahead and sign off. If you had fun, if you learned anything, you can go ahead and click the Shop Now button on our Dairy Discovery page. You can even head over to our website and you can learn about every single activity that we are going to be doing here over the next, how many more hours do we have? We're at hour 4 out of 24. So we have so many more things coming up. You guys got to stay tuned. But again, we are here celebrating World Milk Day so that we can educate our people. We can't do hands-on learning, but you guys, you can't be here right next to me smelling the dairy air, but you can just from your computer, from your phone, from your laptop, sitting in your sweat, you can learn about modern dairy farming because we are trying to increase our social media presence and bring the farm to you. So unprecedented event for unprecedented times. So yeah, thank you guys so much. It was so fun to hear from farmers from across the world celebrating World Milk Day. And yeah, join us for our next segment. See you soon.